Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Gift of Healing TV. I'm Sara Jane, and I am delighted to be joined tonight, because it's night for me, and actually for our guest, delighted tonight by Paula J Roscoe. Paula, thank you so much for joining us for the program today.
Oh, Sarah, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. It really is. Thank you.
Let me introduce you to Paula, who's going to be sharing healing grief using voice and writing. Paula J Roscoe, grief guru, international award-winning author, PJ Roscoe, angel voice healer and spiritual coach, believes in embracing life completely, never merely existing. After a parent's worst tragedy, Paula found writing saved her, and already a spiritual medium, she connected with her angels, and through their guidance, she created a unique healing program for those recovering from grief. And a quote from one of those: "I thought my life had ended after my husband died, but Paula saved me, and now I enjoy my life." Paula lives in North Wales with her husband of 30 years, their 3 cats and a lurcher. Her daughter with additional needs, found the courage to move out 5 years ago and live in supported living. It was one of the most terrifying days of my life, but also one of the proudest. She was ready to embrace her life, and that is what I offer in my healing. Paula, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us. Please share a little of your story and how this all came about. And then I'm going to hand over to you anyway, because we're going to leave this in your hand.
Oh, beautiful. Yes. So sadly, it started with a tragedy. 27 years ago, my son died suddenly, and I wasn't given any support. The waiting lists were huge. So I decided to train as a counselor. I became a therapist, and then I trained as a teacher so that I could teach adults to become grief therapists. And from that, it just didn't feel like there was enough. I mean, counseling, I'm not knocking it, it's absolutely brilliant, but it wasn't healing my clients' mind, body, and spirit. So as I say, I was already a spiritual medium. I was already working with angels at that time, and they kept saying to me, catch them earlier, work with them deeper. So I started to incorporate writing. I started to incorporate lots of other therapies. I started to incorporate angel healing with them. And we were seeing miraculous results. You know, it was just turning people around from absolutely broken to skipping out of my classes and my workshops. And, you know, I'm talking severe depression here, you know, and people were just like, wow, you know, they were ready to embrace life again. And so it's working at a deeper level and healing from the inside out. And so when you heal the mind, body, and spirit, it's like you can't heal one without the other. It's like sticking a plaster on an open wound and hoping for the best. I learned that through my own healing. And so what I did, I incorporated all the healing and all the writing exercises that I used myself to heal after my son. And now I offer it to women. Yeah. So.
No, thank you so much. We go through grief. We have things that happen that they're traumatizing.
Of course.
And it is so important, and it can happen at any age with people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you talk about from the inside out, and it really is, sort of very much understanding if it happens really young and it's not been dealt with. It's the healing of the younger self, the inner child.
Absolutely. Because what I was finding with my clients was that although they were coming to me for grief of a certain person who had died recently, when we started working together, it became very obvious there was old childhood traumas and old learnt behavior that was dictating how they behaved now. So we had to go all the way back and heal from within so that when they got to where they are now, they could fully release it instead of continuing to hold on to it, which is what I want for everybody. Because a smile goes a long way. And when you're truly happy, when you are truly in your bliss, it ripples outwards.
Yeah.
And everyone can feel that beautiful vibe, that loving energy. So that's what I'm trying to reach as many people as possible so that we can ripple this love energy outwards and vibrate with it. Yeah. So we heal.
It's helping us to feel the love for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because until we actually know it is okay to love ourselves, to feel, then there's a child being told big girls don't cry, and the guys get the same, big boys don't cry.
Yeah.
If there's something that is hurting, but it's also that, am I feeling listened to? Am I feeling heard?
Mm-hmm.
And it is so important. And I will always come back to this so often. It's a quote by Alice Little. And as much as I can never remember it perfectly, as a traumatized child, we were desperately waiting for that person that would come and save us. What we didn't understand was that it would be ourselves as an adult.
Yeah.
And that's what participating in our own healing journey is absolutely essential. And I believe that's exactly what you're talking about and the exercises that you're going to be sharing with us today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just quickly, what I will, I say is that I love the story of the oxygen mask. I think maybe I told you about that one, when the plane's going through trauma and the oxygen masks fall down, you don't start putting the oxygen masks on everyone else first, because you'll pass out.
Yeah.
And then you can't help anybody. You have to look after yourself first, and then you can help everybody else. It ripples outwards.
Yeah.
I tell my clients, you cannot give from an empty vessel. You can't. There's nothing there. You can pretend, you can think, but you're not. And at some point, it'll catch up with you. So let's see what we can do about that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I sort of say to my clients, having that special me time, whether it's coming and having a Reiki session or an Indian head massage session or whatever, going for a swim on a regular basis, going for a walk on a daily basis, whatever it is, it's giving yourself that me time on a very regular basis, not just once a month or once a fortnight or once a week. It's because, as you say, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. And, but I've got this person to look after. It's just like, and what's going to happen to that person when you haven't got anything more to give?
Exactly. And people who talk to me about, well, I've got to look after that person, I've got to give to that person. What you're teaching that person is that they don't have the power to do it for themselves. So you're disempowering that person. What you can do is teach them to empower themselves, but you have to empower yourself first. Children learn by watching adults.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. 100%. But you're not just disempowering them, you're disempowering yourself.
Absolutely.
Because if everything becomes about somebody else, you're holding two people back.
Yep.
And that's the important thing, isn't it? It's a matter of, I'm not being selfish by taking care of me. How can I take care of you if I haven't got the energy to even get myself out of bed?
Absolutely.
And if you have ever experienced ME, seriously, I really had no idea how ill I was till I came out the other end. It is so debilitating.
Yeah.
Um,
And grief is that. Grief is debilitating. It is exhausting to be bothered, to get up, to even contemplate thinking about something, to do something, to feel something. Every day is a heaviness. It's a chore. It's a wound. It's an open wound. But like all wounds, grief can be healed. You can get to a point where instead of it overpowering you and overwhelming you, it's like it's that heaviness. You can get to a point where you love yourself and you honor the person who died by making it small enough to put it in your pocket and carry it around with you and bring it out when you need to. I mean, people say to me, it's been 27 years since my son died. And they say to me, oh, so you don't mourn him anymore? You don't cry anymore? And I said, no, I don't mourn him. I don't grieve for him. But I do have my moments where something will trigger. I think, oh, I wish Jack could see that. Or, it's like it was just been my daughter's birthday this weekend. And I sat there thinking, no, my son never had a birthday. And I had a little tear. But that's okay. I'm human. We're allowed to feel.
Yeah.
It's making sure that the feelings don't overtake you and overwhelm you. And that's what we're going to look at today.
And even though I was so very young, I'd gone through the traumas that I'd gone through. My mother had my sister Gillian, and Gillian spent half of her very short life in hospital. She died when she was 9 weeks old, and that was when I was 18 months old. Right. And with what I'd gone through, my parents had gone through what I'd gone through, and then they lost a daughter as well. So it's just, and they had to get on with it because it wasn't that long till mother was pregnant again and my sister Katie came along. And that was by the time I was just under 2.5, so it's just like, so life just kept going, and life does keep going. And there's always going to be that grief. There always is. But one thing I've learned is that my sister Gillian is still with me. She's still here. She's one of my spirit guides. And at the end of the day, she's never left my mother. And I'm sure you're aware that Jack's with you. Just because he's not in the physical doesn't mean that souls don't stay connected to us.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, I've been blessed to see Jack grow up in the spirit world, and he would visit me often, and he still visits his sister. He lets her know that he's around with lights and things, and she'll say, oh, Jack's here, and whenever we take pictures in our house, we have orbs everywhere, especially when there's a celebration, and you'll just feel him coming in, and he's just like saying, hi, I'm still here, just celebrating, watching, enjoying you, sending you love. And it's just a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, because at the end of the day, every single person on this planet is going to die, and every single person on this planet is going to experience death and grief. But nobody wants to talk about it. Mm. And in death, there is life, and in life, there is death. It's all part and parcel, but it's just a moving on. It's just a next room, I see it as that there's a brilliant song called I Grieve by Peter Gabriel, and there's a line in it saying, it's just the car that you ride in. And I just think that's just brilliant. Yeah. I'm in a Porsche right now, by the way. Oh, yeah.
Oh, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
I love the way Neil Donald Walsh puts it.
Okay.
He refers to it as being our continuation day. So the day our soul lets go of this physical body and continues where it lives.
Yeah.
With source, whatever you perceive source to be, but in pure unconditional love.
Absolutely. And it's beautiful.
And so our soul continues and it always will, however many lifetimes it has.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's really reading that. It's helped me in a lot of ways. And knowing, having been made aware of stuff around Gillian, and actually finding ourselves at Gillian's grave up near Liverpool, actually on the anniversary of her death. I would prefer it had been the anniversary of her birth, because I'm not one of these people that celebrates somebody's death. I'd rather celebrate their life.
Yes.
But we can do so much, can't we, to celebrate the life. And I suppose it's thinking, is it in sort of certain countries where it becomes, it's all the music and everybody dancing, and it's about a celebration of life.
Oh, yes. Is it Mexico or Brazil or something? They have the Day of the Dead and stuff like that. Well, we have All Hallows Eve, don't we?
Yeah.
Which is sort of like, I suppose, a dampened down version of that. But we, it's about celebrating life.
Yeah.
And honoring yourself and those who have moved on, who have passed. Definitely. And this all comes back down to love. We've sort of gone full circle into love. Yeah.
And that's what grief is, isn't it? It's the missing of that love. It's because you loved so much that you are grieving to the extent that you are grieving.
Yeah. And it seems as an odd thing to say sometimes when I speak to people, but when you're grieving, that is a gift. It's a gift of love. It is telling you, it's showing you how much you loved. And you had that person, that beautiful spirit in your life. That is a gift. Honor it. Treasure it.
Yeah, absolutely. So should I hand over to you now?
Okay.
And then, unless there's anything you want to add to our little conversation.
Oh, we could talk all night. Of course,
I know.
Of course we could. But I want to get this exercise out, and then I'm going to do some angel channeling. So what I'd like you to do is, if you're watching this on replay, then pause it and go and get yourself a pen and paper, or pencil and paper. If you're watching now, I'll talk for a little bit while you just go and get yourself a pen and paper. So what I'm going to do is a little exercise that I do with my clients. And this can be a real aha moment for a lot of people, because we can go through life, or go through every day. Let's take it as every day. We can go through every day and we think something, but it's not actually true. It's the inner story that we tell ourselves. And I'll go into more about that when I've done this exercise, because I want you to come from your heart space and not your head space when we do this. So when people work with me, we move into the heart space, which is where all your answers lie. So people never know the questions I'm going to ask them until I ask them. Okay, so here's the first question. I want you to write down how you feel at this moment, right now. Not how you felt 5 minutes ago, not how you want to feel in 5 minutes, right now. Write down the feelings or feeling that you are feeling right now. Okay. I don't give people too long for this, because you move into your headspace. All right. If at some point you've gone, you've moved into your headspace. So just write whatever comes out. Next question. What feelings would you like to feel right now? And don't worry if nothing comes up. Just write. If your pen's not moving, leave it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Okay? This isn't about pressure. It's not an exam. Don't worry. All right? Now, I want you to look at your two lists. Your first one, what you're feeling now. And your second list, what you want to feel now. Are there any that are different? If there are, circle them. Are there any that are the same? Give them a tick. Okay. Now I want you to look at the feelings that you want to feel and ask yourself this question. Why am I not feeling those feelings? And this, again, this isn't a judgment. This isn't an exam. It can just bring up something that you possibly didn't know you were actually feeling or thinking. Because we have so many inner stories, this little exercise can just bring that, oh, I didn't know I was thinking that, or I was feeling that. Now, for those of you who perhaps have nothing new, they're all the same, and you couldn't think of how you want to feel, give yourself, great, brilliant. So I'm obviously in tune with what I'm feeling and thinking. And sort of ask yourself this question as well. How do I think about the words that I've put on paper? What do I think about them? Do I agree with them? Do I like them? Do I hate what I'm seeing? And these are just little questions that you can ask yourself to really tune in to what you're thinking and feeling at this point. Because what you think has a knock-on effect to how you feel. And how you feel has a knock-on effect to how you behave. And if you aren't aligned, if you've got things that are, oh, but I really wanted to feel that, I would really like to feel that, ask yourself how you think about it, how you feel about it, and why aren't you being that? And again, I will reiterate here, there is no judgment. This isn't a punishment. This just gives you clarity. And when you can see something, especially if it's written on paper, you have a better chance of working with that. Okay? So I hope, put in the comments if everyone's feeling happy or sad or a aha moment or whatever's going on for you. Let us know how you feel at this moment. Okay? Right. And from that, I would like you to sit with your list of how you're feeling. And I'm now going to channel some angel healing. And I never know how this is going to go. I never know how this is going to sound. I've got my shamanic drum on hand in case they want me to. No, I'm being told no, it's okay. It's all about voice. That's fine. Okay. So don't be alarmed by anything you hear. Okay, just allow this to happen. So I would invite you to close your eyes, sit in a comfortable position, or if you want to lie down, and trust that this energy will reach you at the right time. It doesn't matter if I'm doing this now and you're watching this tomorrow, next week, next year, whenever. The angel's energy will always reach you. Okay, so I'd just like you to take a few deep breaths and just be here in this moment. Om Shanti Om. 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 Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. And I ask you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath in. And just release and release. Take another one. And release. And take in one more. And release. Now, some of you may even have heard a second or third voice coming through as I was channeling. Some people say they can hear the angels behind me. And when I do this with women's groups, the more that we do this, the more that we channel this kind of healing towards a person who needs it in the middle, they start to feel and hear the healing of the angels more and more. So the more that you connect in with your angels, the more you will hear them. So allow yourself to trust that inner voice. You know, I have people say to me who are grieving, but I don't hear anything. I haven't been visited by my loved one. And sit with that feeling, sing, hum, release the blockage. Release, sit with this video, release the blockage. Release that energy that's holding you back and allow their loving energy to come through. Now, before I started this beautiful interview, they told me to go and get some angel cards. Now, the way I work is that I shuffle until I feel a resistance, and it's like a hand is just gently placed on my own. So let's just see what the angels want you to know. And trust that you are meant to see this card and hear the loving message, regardless of when you catch this video. Just trust. See that? I feel like, oh, okay, you want me to stop there. All right. Oh, beautiful. Now the card is divine timing. Okay. This seems very apt for a lot of people. I can feel that. I can feel you. You're all wanting it. You want it right now. You want it to happen now. Oh, yeah, I can feel that energy of everyone going, come on, come on. It's not going to happen the way you want it. It can't happen the way you want it because you're putting impatience into it. You're putting this frustration energy into it. You're putting sort of all this negative vibe into it. The only way that it can happen in a beautiful, loving way for you is to let go, is to release and trust. Oh, God, I'm so full of energy and love right now. This is beautiful. And trust in divine timing. And I know people say, oh, that's like a get out of jail free card. It'll just happen. It can't happen until you let it. And sometimes when we want something so badly that we sort of try and force it to happen, I will bet you anything you like that when it happens, it's not quite how you wanted it to be, is it? Or something negative will happen where it's not as beautiful as you hoped it would be, or it won't last as long as you wanted it to, because you didn't release it, you didn't let go. Your angels are asking you, because they can't tell you, you have free will. They will guide you and they will invite you to allow divine timing to happen. So let go of that frustration, let go of that impatience. Oh, and believe me, I know how hard that is. I want everything yesterday. I've had to learn patience, over these years of working with the angels. And, it's hard. Of course it is. I want everything yesterday and I want it all now. But I've learned through experience that once I release, once I allow love and trust and those beautiful, loving acceptance energies to come in, the magic happens. Okay? So allow divine timing within your life. By all means, write out a list of all the things that you want and talk to your angels about it. And make a plan. Say, look, I really want this one. Can you help me get there? I could really do with this happening first. Can you show me how to get there? How to make it happen? And sit with the answers. Because all the answers are within you. They just guide you to that voice in your heart space. And I send you so much love. So much love. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sweet soul. Thank you so much. Divine timing. Yes. Trust in universal divine timing.
Yes, absolutely. And I do. I know it's difficult, I know it is. But it really is. If you can let go of the frustration, how amazing is that? You lighten your energy straight away. If you can let go of anger and impatience, you lighten your load and you start to elevate and your vibration gets higher and it echoes outwards. And then you're telling the universe, do you know what? I'm ready for that now. I'm ready for that beautiful energy to happen. But if you're stuck in that constrictive impatience, frustration, anger, it doesn't happen. It can't get to you.
Yeah. I was always brought up with I want, don't get. And I totally get why people use that word. Mm-hmm. But it's also, having heard them say, I want and I need leaves you with the wanting and the needing. Mm-hmm. Choose it.
Yeah.
Choose it and let yourself choose. And thank you so much for sharing this. I actually came up with 3 words, and when it came to it, well, how would you like to be feeling? It's just like how I'm feeling.
Brilliant. Excellent. And that's good. That's amazing. So that means that you are in tune with what's happening for you. You're in tune with what you want to feel. It's just that sometimes when people are going through grief, They could be feeling this. They want to be feeling that, but they don't know how to get to that point. And they don't realize they want to feel that until they actually write it down and go, oh, yeah.
And I can really, really see that. So how am I feeling now? I'm sad. I'm unhappy. I'm depressed. How would you like to feel? Well, happy, loved, cared for. So, all those lovely feelings that you're missing because of the loss and the grief.
Yeah.
And so I could totally get why that is a beautiful exercise. And as for the sound, amazing. And all I would say to anybody is, if for any reason you were listening with your ears, suggestion, go back and listen with your heart and your soul.
Yeah.
Because it isn't about what you hear, it is about what you feel.
That's right. Absolutely. It is. I mean, you know, as I say, I do this with groups of women, and what we do, we have a circle, and whoever needs healing is in the middle, and we sing their name over and over. And I'm actually going to be doing that at a festival this summer in North Wales. So if you're in the North Wales area, come on down.
Oh, bearing in mind how much I work with people's name with toning.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The power of it. And we call it sort of like having a sound share. And everybody gets a chance to sit on that chair and experience. Now, depending on how many people there are, we may actually limit it to small groups of 4, because not everybody can take that amount of energy. And it's so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Your name is one of the most beautiful gifts. If it's being toned, because I use that term, toning.
Sure.
And it's the things, experience it. If you get the chance to experience someone tone your name, I would absolutely recommend it. So sort of absolutely. Paula, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Now I think I've got your website here, so let's put that into the chat, and I will make. Oh, come on, computer, why won't you let me copy and paste that? What's going on? Thank you.
Computers and angels, do they mix?
So hopefully, now will you please, what's going on? Thank you. Okay, divine timing.
Yeah, divine timing, trust it, it'll happen when it's supposed to.
So I've got www. Now that looks like linked, linktr.ee/PJ Roscoe.
Yes, that's right. That will take you to all my social medias, my Facebook page, gosh, where else? My YouTube channel, where you can find lots of little videos and things and that. So yeah, it's all on there.
It's all on there. Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. Anything before we let go and sort of leave that you would like to share that maybe we haven't touched on?
Let me see. No, I feel like that's quite enough for a lot of people to deal with. And you know, you can listen to this as many times as you want, you know, listen to the sound, as you say, feel into it. This is about feeling your feelings instead of thinking your feelings. Yeah. So and try not to listen to some of those inner stories that are holding you back. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Paula, thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Bless you. Thank
sharing
you.
your amazing gift. It really has. Next week we have a today's conversation for you: Reiki and synchronicity. Yeah, synchronicity. You've got to love synchronicity.
Oh, yeah, that's certainly an eye-opener, synchronicity.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it just? So, Paula, thank you so very much. Folks, if you've enjoyed this, if you wish to connect with Paula, just go to that website, and I will make sure that if you're watching this on under the YouTube video, it'll be right there. So please feel free to connect with Paula. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, sweet soul. And in case I forgot to tell you, as soon as I take us out of live, we'll both get kicked out the room. So it's been a real pleasure, and I'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So many blessings to you and everybody.
Namaste, sweet soul. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.